Okay, welcome to the third video. Originally, I thought the third video would be about tracing, but on reflection, the last question that we looked at um, only didn't involve any nesting. So there was no nested structures, there was no decisions, there was no iteration, and definitely there was no nesting within those. So I thought actually, although the calculation aspect of this question um, was reasonable, there was some missing constructs in terms of learning how to teach programming. Um, because the iteration and the decision questions can look different. So I thought we'd take this model and we'd apply it to a new question. So I'm not going to keep this on the screen. So if you need uh, that our notation is 1 for input output, 2 for decisions, 3 for iterate, 4 for variables and assigning correct data types, and 5 for doing a calculation. If you need that on the screen, either take a screenshot of this or write this down in your notes, because I will not be repeating it for the next question. So let's take another look. Let's take a look at this question now, and then we can spec it out nice and quickly. So again, you'll see that we have inputs, which is number 1, and we have variable assignment data types number 4. If you see words like if in the password is equal to secret, then display welcome message, you immediately know that you're dealing with a decision. So that's number 2. And then there are 2 cases in an if. There's the if and the else, or sometimes even more cases. This is also number 2. And so we can now put together this program very quickly. Whenever you see the word password, you should be on the lookout for a while loop. However, in this case, they've decided to keep it vanilla, and you could probably guess that they were going to do that because it's only 5 marks. But usually you wouldn't check a password with a decision, you'd check it with a while loop. But for this question, they've not mentioned while anywhere, and so they've gone with a decision for checking passwords, which is bad practice. But we're just gonna get the marks for this question and then move on. So input a password and store it in a suitable variable. So again, what data type should this variable store? Well, it should store a string because it needs to be able to store anything. How do I get a string into it? I write the word input, open bracket, password. You don't get any marks for the output messages, so you'll notice I'm not working very hard on them. Maybe that's bad practice for user design, but this is a timed context, so this is the way I'm going to do it. If the password is equal to the secret display message, okay, so it's giving me the case. So if, then comes a space, then comes the idea of a condition. Now sometimes you might put the condition in brackets to make it really clear that this is what it is, but the condition is something which is true or false. And based on it, if it's true, you're going to go to the first block. If it's false, you're going to go to the second block. So if pass is equal to secret, get the data type right. And then after your condition goes a colon, that's a Python specific language structure. I'm just going to put a bracket around the condition so that we know that's what we're looking at. And then in that case, I will, so these lines are here to help us indent, so I'm going to use them. I'm going to use 2 for a single indent. I was asked to print welcome, capital W. Case does matter. I wouldn't be surprised if they took away a mark if you got the case wrong. For the else block, we're back to the old indentation. Make sure that your print statements line up. And then not welcome, capital N. Get your cases right. Lowercase w. Okay, and that's enough for 5 marks. Was it that different from the original example? No, but it's worth noticing things like the fact that we've been given these indentation marks to help us make it clear what indentation different things are on. It's also worth seeing how you might teach some of these syntax specific issues. So a decision looks like this. It has the word if, then it has a space, then it has a condition, and then it has a colon. Every single if statement looks this way. The condition is the only thing that can change. We call this variation theory. If you prefer curly braces, you can have curly braces. The only thing that can change in the first line of a if statement is the condition. So there's no justification for getting the if wrong and getting the colon wrong. The only thing you're even allowed to get wrong is the condition. And the condition, and working out the condition, that's where we need to read our question very carefully. Anyway, that's enough for this video. This was part B of algorithm design, and next video we really will go on to tracing.